Welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G. And with me this evening, BRL, NWL, IWAR Commissioner Matt Riley, and our good pal, Luke Martin. What's going on, fellas?
Everything.
All
Everything's
right.
going on.
Everything.
It's 2020, man. Like, there's no rules.
So this will be the June 2020 cycle in the review. And we're going to start off with the Independent Wrestling League, IWL, number 123. The league champion, Luther Alexander, television champion, Jordan Drake, New York City champion, Friendzone, Frederick Goodfellow, Los Angeles champion, The Velociraptor, Boston champion, Catfish Mo, Detroit champion, Shocker, Jimmy Electric, Cleveland champion, American Savage, Buddy Donner, Dallas champion, Neo Dragon, Memphis champion, Princeton, Miami champion, Recyclops, San Francisco champion, Pigeon Boy, Chicago champion, Quailman, Tag Team Champions, the American Patriot and the Chameleon. TV Tag Team Champions, the American Savages, Buddy Donner and Hank Henkel. Six-Man Champion, gentleman William Worthy, and the American Savages. TV Six-Man Champions, Pigeon Boy, Quailman, and Recyclops. And the Battle Royal winner, and the only reason Neo Dragon won the Battle Royal is that the IWA didn't put Luther Alexander in the Battle Royal that they were supposed to, and he wins 45 free matches, so congratulations. So, Alex G, what's going down in the IWL? Well, guys, we are rapidly approaching Wrestle Riot. That will be, the matches will take place next cycle. In addition to that, we're going to have the finals of the Elite 8 tournaments. The matchup will be Neo Dragon taking on Texas Jesse Tombstone. In addition to that, since we had a tie in the 4-pack challenge, the Regulators will take on Jordan Drake and Apollo's Pain at the pay-per-view as well. And the winner will receive a shot at the Unified Tag Team Championship. Again, lots of great matches on this pay-per-view. We have Ali Atari taking on Johnny Vegas. We have Neo Dragon taking on Apollo's Pain. We have a lot of fantastic matches this cycle. Don't forget the Ali Atari and Johnny Vegas match will be taking place inside the Tower of Doom. That's right, 3 cages stacked on top of each other, and there's a good possibility that he won't make it out there alive. So, good luck. Again, we do have our next pay-per-view. That's going to be that's also rapidly approaching. That will be the King of Pro Wrestling. That will be a 16-man tournament. I'm very, very excited about that. War Games is coming up soon, so if you haven't paid your money and presented us with your team name, you should probably do that sooner rather than later. Again, I'll probably make a thread on the IWAR Network Facebook page just to get a just make sure everyone that has submitted a team and submitted money is represented, because the IWA likes to forget to tell me sometimes. So I like to make sure everyone is that's participating, that wants participating, is participating. So you want to keep that in mind as well. TT-wide, again, another fantastic amount of TT this cycle. We have Clive Cosworth, and we have Sweet Jimmy Heat, and the Heat Foundation, like fantastic good stuff coming out of them. We have Johnny Vegas making a return to the TT pages. Nice to see Johnny Vegas as always. Apparently, the Chameleon claims that Luther Alexander makes him sick. We'll see how that goes. Looks like they're going to have a match between him and the recently departed Josh the Beast Gordon at the pay-per-view to determine the new number 1 contender for the Grand Prix Championship. We have an interview with the American Patriot and David Crockett. He's talking about the backstabber. I don't know why. We have Alexander J. Styles. Again, really, really good. I think out of all the draft picks that I've made, he's probably made the biggest impact so far. But there is still time to...
he's a bum.
No, he's not a bum. He's really good. He's fantastic. So, again, I think overall we did a fantastic job with the TT. See Cena Luch's ugly face. I don't know why he's here. Gross. Makes me want to vomit. We have a picture of Tiamat claiming the champ is here. And the champ is here, by the way. So, fantastic stuff there. I'm very excited about that. We have a Astroglide ad with Johnny Vegas. He claims he's, damn, I'm smooth. So, that's cool. And then in terms of Weekly World News, we have Monkey Eye Tim finally passes his eye exam, so that's good. And then fans want to know why doesn't Cena Lucha pay his child support, which he doesn't.
Fuck that.
Because he's a jerk.
Ooh.
So, Luke, is there any TT this cycle in the IWL that caught your eye?
Yes, there is, as a matter of fact. First of all, like you said, Alexander J. Styles has definitely taken the cake for all of the IWAR draft picks that the Chameleon evidently picked. But luckily, he picked somebody good. Again, he may not have, been winning every title in the book, but he always moves the narrative forward, and that's what we want. TT is not necessarily about getting on the title page as much as it is as telling a story, and Alexander Day Styles does that. Also say that Jack Audley always does a great job, and he's fanning the furnace with the Chameleon, so good on him. And then also it's nice to see Johnny WrestleFest show up to the game.
Yeah, I was real happy and very excited about that.
Yeah, so hopefully he keeps that up. And then, everybody in the IWL that does TT always does a great job. Like, I like to see my brother-in-arms, Johnny Vegas, getting out there. But, I'm glad to have Clyde's Cosworth. Also, you can check out the Dream, Ollie Atari, as he has evidently chosen to be known instead of the Arabian Dream Ollie Atari. That's a good read. And it's just interesting because it shows how you can advance a character and continue to modify them throughout time. And I think that's good that he went ahead and did that. So props to him. But overall, I think the IWL continues to do well with their TT. And, sometimes it's hard to highlight everybody, but I just want everybody to know that they're doing a kick-ass job and making this league fun and very exciting. And I look forward to what we continue to do in the future.
Again, the IWL is running on all cylinders. Very proud of everyone who were able to contribute. And if you didn't contribute this cycle, there's always next cycle to contribute. So, again, be on the lookout. I'm going to be sending those pay-per-view matches in shortly. Again, being on the lookout for the results on that. I think Revolution Extreme is going to win all the belts. It's a good possibility. We're going to run the table. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. But I think, in terms of the overall presentation, the league feels good. It feels happening. It feels hot. So, again, super, super excited. All right, next up, Continental Wrestling League. Number 253, League Champion Alex Walschnapp, TV Champion Frederick Xavier, United States Champion Matthew Zabapowski, Yukon Champion Soda Boy, Caribbean Champion The Nightmare Johnny Carlage, Amazon Basin Champion The Wrestler with No Name, British Isles Champion Big Bad Bob, Arabian Champion Anthony Zabapowski, South African Champion Derek Dark, Siberian Champion Sebastian Zabapowski, East Asian Champion Alabastard, Oceanic Champion Kenneth Zabapowski, Tag Team Champions Unleavened Bread and The Wrestler with No Name, TV Tag Team Champions Axel Walschnapp and Alex Walschnapp, Six-Man Champions winning 5 free matches, Anthony Zabapowski, Matthew Zabapowski, and Sebastian Zabapowski, and your TV Six-Man Champions Unleavened Bread Alabastard and The Wrestler with No Name, and your Battle Royal winner, Soda Boy. So, Matt, is there any breaking news for the CWL?
There is some exciting news coming to CWL. I will only hint that it's going to change the scope of the CWL and the IWAR as a whole. And so forth.
All right, man, I dig it. Now, I'm looking here at the CWL magazine. Really, really well done. Very well done. Christmas Report is top shelf for sure. I do enjoy that. Hey, Luke, is there any TT that caught your eye?
There's always TT that caught my eye. I like the Wolves Den TT.
Yeah.
It's good. I like to see the female wrestlers getting out there in front of it. Victor Possess Ayasimov looks good. He's a big part of the league.
Is he still dragging people to hell?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's literally his MO. So you just have to come to expect it. Mason Enterprises does a great job, and then always the Chaotix. Chaotix are top 5 players. They were top 5 players in the IWL. They're top 5 players wherever they go, and they continue to put out the best TT. I will again reiterate what Alex says. The CWL magazine looks great, especially with the tag teams, the tag team division, and the training division. I like what they did with that. So overall, good TT in the league. I think that more people could step up to maybe produce some quality TT, but the TT that is being put out there is good to go. So, hey, if you're in the CWL and you're not, oh, I forgot about Soda Boy. His stuff is dope. He's 165 pounds and he's 5'7".
Nice.
So, yeah, he's a killer, and he won the Battle Royal, right?
Is that twice the size of you, though?
Twice the size, yeah. Actually, he is me, except I'm like 2 inches taller, so I'm just gonna put that out there. About the same weight, so he's my hero.
Hey Matt, is there any CWL events we should want to look out for?
Well, the Golden Microphone contest is going on, so if you want in on that, contact the commissioner. That is an event where you have to promo to advance. No promo, no advancing. So there's a lot going on at CWL, so stay tuned.
All right, man. I dig it. All right, next up, BRL Battle Royal League number 551. League champion winning 10 free matches. Hot stuff. Adam Cash. Woo. TV champion, money-driven Mike Sebastian. Atlantic champion, Lord Regal. Central champion, Fenris. Central champion, Fenris. Dixie champion, Late Night, Logan Kane. Eastern champion, El Dragon de Oro. Mountain champion, The Orphan Crippler. Northern champion, Crusher Vicious. Pacific champion, Morally Corrupt. Prairie champion, King Warman 88. Sounds like my Instagram handle. Southern champion, Handsome Hollywood Star. Western champion, Becky North. Tag team champion, Severus and Fenris. Tag team champion, Hot Stuff, Adam Cash and Fatty the Butcher. 6-man champions, Tylock, Alator, Trilock, Alator, and Zoo. You fuckers. TV champion, TV 6-man champions, Fenris, Cerberus, and Wolf, and your Battle Royal winner. Your Battle Royal winner, winning $50 in IWA credit, The Orphan Crippler. So, Matt, what's going down in the BRL?
Well, first is the number of lawsuits from crippled orphans. I really want to apologize to those orphans. We are sorry, but that is his name, so don't meet with him when you.
I have a warped sense of humor. I think anytime someone takes a wheelchair-bound person and throws them down the stairs is hilarious for some reason. I don't know why. But I just think it's funny.
Well, I can tell you one of the best GIF files around is Zack Ryder being thrown off the Raw set by Kane in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Just comedy gold. So what's going on? Well, Adam Cash did retain the title, so yay me.
You know how hard that is to do?
Yeah.
In the BRL, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
You should get more than 10 free matches, though.
Yeah. Hey, maybe that's the next thing we'll get the other way to, kick in on and make it like, well, you'll get a number of free matches based on your league's
100 free matches if you retain a league title.
That would be super. The big news coming out of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, of course, was Punk Rock Mike winning the Money in the Bank in quite a scramble. If you read the write-up, you'll see had a lot of mayhem involved, including Becky North storming in and causing quite a scene until she was smashed with the guitar by Double R Rob Ratliff.
Hey, so it's Canada Day. It's Canada Day today.
It is Canada Day, so thanks, Becky. Let's see here. Seth Adams leaves Arrogance after months of teasing a departure. He left, and he's looking for a new stable, and he actually talked about, like, Dynaflex. I will tell you, outside the game, Michael Cook, who runs Dynaflex, and he runs Hasbro, he's cutting back a bit because part of the side effect of the pandemic is his kids are home and he's going to take care of that, so he's cut back in the game a bit. He runs the NAL report, so he's very busy with that. So if you're looking for a stable, that's not the one to look for. Same thing with House of Hardcore. House of Hardcore bolted from both IWL and BRL. I don't know where they went. I haven't gone looking. Hey, if you're going to bail on us and not even tell us, that's not my problem. Other things going on, we have some turmoil inside the team of LKF, with Chris Stasheff causing problems with Brom O'Baron and Rodney D'Armand. The Holy Family brought in Fenris as Apocalypse headed off for a mission. Fenris quickly grabbed a bunch of belts, so he's been good. Eric Endgame walked out of the Disciples of Doom. One of the longest-running members of the DOD has left, and he's actually asked to join the Suburban Hill Savages, his longtime rivals. So where will that go? Other things going on. We're building up to the Imagibash 18 pay-per-view. I think it's 18, maybe 19. I always forget. There, let me see here. And this pay-per-view, god damn, my computer sucks.
That's the reason I don't do numbers anymore on my pay-per-views. Say I don't remember.
Well, it's number 19, so 19 years of Imagibash, which I'm sure some shithead will be like, oh, I made that name up. Anyways, so that's going on. And at that pay-per-view, we have author of Agony LePage Turner defending against Punk Rock Mike, who was the longest reigning global champion of all time, 18 cycles. Let's see. The Alos Express defends against Blood Money, and Arrogance, Lord Regal, Zolf Digler, and Martel the Model defend against Mascaro Negro and the Headhunters. We have our next Best of 7 series. It's going to be Punk Rock Mike against Eric the Eliminator Endgame, and the winner of that gets a Revolution title shot. I did a new layout for the BRL, so give that a look when it comes out. Change a couple of things here and there to make it a little more easy to read. Yeah, BRL, a lot going on. We have about 100 players almost, active wrestlers, about 25, 26 players. Still looking to beef up the roster, of course, because I know people do leave. It happens. So if you're looking for a fun league, BRL, a lot in the works behind the scenes, so we'll see how this all plays out. But thanks to everybody who plays there. How's that?
Man, I dig it, man. I dig it. So, Luke, is there any TT that caught your eye?
First, I want to give a shout out to Neo Dragon's Doppelganger, Punk Rock Mike. He's a fucking badass. He got a 495, 498, and 496. He's a goddamn god among men, and his TT is always on point. So, yeah, I'm kind of a mark for him.
Who's this?
This Punk Rock Mike.
Punk Rock Mike. Yeah,
he's a fucking killer. He's the fucking best. All right. The author of Agony LePage Turner, always putting forth the best. Ghostly Shadows. He is the Undertaker of the BRL. Dungeon Master makes me warm inside. Barb Dwyer. She always does good. Like I said, if it's a pretty picture, I like it. And she has a pretty cool-ass picture. Dash DeLorean, doing a good job. I mean, this is the first time as a member of the IWL that I would say that the BRL has done a debatably better job than the IWL, which again is debatable. But yeah, there's so much TT that I could look at here. That's all good. And, good on them for stepping up. BRL is the flagship league of the IWAR. And, the IWL, we've been kicking their ass for a while, but I feel like that this cycle they did a better job than we did. So that's both a kudos to the BRL and a shout out to the IWL. But we got a pay-per-view coming up, so, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, everything in the BRL looks good, man. And I'm looking forward to them going forward. But yeah, man, Punk Rock Mike is the shit. I just want everybody to understand that. It's the shit.
He's not shit. He is the shit.
He is the shit. He is number one. He is the man.
Number one USA Patui.
Yeah. I mean, this has been a shit fucking year. I mean, you're going to do a 26-26 this cycle? Fuck you. But Mike, he doesn't give a fuck. You got to what? Yeah, he's killing it. So
Neo Dragon didn't care.
Neo Dragon doesn't give a fuck. That's a different story. Punk Rock Mike fucks shit up. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about the BRL. So,
there it is.
All right, man. I can dig it. All right. Next up, Bloodbath League, number 483, the league champion, Barry Taking These Stevens, TV champion, Proof Washington, Atlantic champion, Mr. Smith, Central champion, Willie Norton, Dixie champion, the White Claw Outlaw Mike, Eastern champion, Chuckles, Mountain champion, Lady Swine, Northern champion, The Phantom, Pacific champion, Manslaughter, Prairie champion, Tixon, Ticonderoga, Southern champion, Early Man, Western champion, Blood Threat number 3, Tag team champions, Dixon, Ticonderoga, and Barry Taking These Stevens, TV tag team champions, Mr. Smith and Corporal Punishment, 6-man champions, The Phantom, Blood Threat number 1 and Blood Threat number 3, 6-man champions, Mr. Smith, Lady Swine and Corporal Punishment, and your Battle Royal winner, The Cobra Kid. So, Matt, is there any BBL events going on right now?
BBL. Let me get this out here. Well, all right. Well, there's a lot going on here. It's just have to say that the Almighty Sheik is the new UVU heavyweight champion.
Oh.
So he's been riding up high, if you will. Oh, look out!
Yeah. Sorry.
As it were. And Sunday Bloody Sunday 3 went down. So we're already setting up for Sunday Bloody Sunday 4. Again, numbered events. If you enjoy White Claw, you'll enjoy the White Claw Outlaws. Just saying. Which, by the way, I think of every single time I see the White Claw products. There is just a lot going on here, and I would say that BBL's been picking up and starting to take off as far as promos go and activity. So it's a good time to get in there and join in the fun. And Barry Stevens' long drought came to an end, so I was happy about that. So there.
All right, man, I dig it. So, Luke, is there any TT that you'd like to discuss in the BBL?
Yes, sir. The BBL definitely stepped up this month. There's a lot that you talk about. First of all, Almighty Sheik, he's been here for a while, but he continues to do good work on the TT. I like the Tiger King TT because it's just ridiculous. He even named his guy Joe Exotic. It takes little creativity, but a lot of balls, and I'm okay with that. White Claw Outlaws, they kick ass. I like what they do. Math Club, it's always great. And Barry Taking These Stevens, this is his time, and he's stepping up to the league with that. I like the Disembowelers. Also, is that Lacey Evans in there? I think in there. Who is she supposed to be?
Swine, yes. That's Lady Swine.
Yeah. She was in the Marine Corps, so that's near and dear to my heart. But she was only a corporal, right? Because that's garbage. I just want you to know that. But no, their TT is great. TT looks good. Itzaru Kuso, I like his TT. It's good. And then also Early Man, I like that. It's good to go. And also Inmates continue to produce. So, yeah, man, the BBL definitely stepped up this cycle. Continue to see good things from them. And I'm excited about the league going forward.
All right, man. I dig that. All right, next up is the NWL New Wave League number 150. League champion, Hillbilly Kevin. TV champion, Natalie Nightmare. Atlantic champion, Hillbilly Steve. Central champion, RJ Berserker. Dixie champion, Torch. Eastern champion, Inferno. Mountain champion, The Freak. Northern champion, Nas X. Pacific champion, Unholy. Prairie champion, Hate Clown. Southern Champion, JKD Domer. Western Champion, Mook Anderson. Tag Team Champions, Torch and Inferno. TV Tag Team Champions, Tyler Dresden and Big Guns Greg Gennard. Six-Man Champions, Torch, Inferno, and Glacier. TV Six-Man Champions, The Impact Player, Leon Phoenix. A-Person and The Matrix. And your Battle Royal winners, Hill, Billy, Kevin. So, Matt, what's going down on the NWL?
Oh, boy. As always, there's a lot. I think you should mention in the pre-show, and I want to mention here, 8 cycles ago, we were doing pretty well. We had the next 4 cycles, we had 17 new wrestlers show up. All right. And then in the last 4 cycles, we've had 72. So this whole pandemic thing has led to a lot of nostalgia returns, players finding bulletins in their basements or whatever. So welcome all those folks who have come back, or friends of friends. It's been great. A lot of activity, like almost 2,000 matches this past cycle. So, whoa, okay. We also have a lot of guys who are due to graduate in the next 4 or 5 cycles. And Nate Moneyman Barnes and Nick Bloodtrap just left. We have Fiction leaving soon, Big Guns Greg Gennard, the Pharmacist RX Payne. A lot of guys, in the mix as far as, coming and going. But, I want to make sure everyone knows, I always ask if you can, make sure you contact me if you join. We started really aggressively getting people to contact me, and that's really helped the game because we've got people in the Facebook message group, and it helps a lot when it comes to coordinating events and strategies. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to talk about this in the report. I'll go over here a little briefly. We've had some problems in the last couple of cycles with some of the trash talk content being a little too adult. And I would remind everyone that this is a game that kids play as well as adults. And I know we're all, for the most part, we're probably older than 18 or whatever, and that's fine. But there are kids who play this game. And also, make sure your promos are directed at wrestlers in a respectful way. And I don't mean you can beat them with steel chairs, you can throw them in dumpsters, all that stuff. But, just language-wise, remember that there are kids playing, and just don't give off vibes that are creepy or rapey. So we'll talk more about that as it goes ahead, but just want to make sure I reiterate that. Now, as the NWL turns, if you want to call it that, we just had our Clash of the Champions, the 13th, and had a whole lot go down. We had Tyler Dresden come out of the triple threat match with the Young Lions Championship. We saw Bulk Slogan win the Rumble in the Bronx by using a very Luther Alexander type move. He used a welding torch to cut the ring apart, so everyone fell out of the ring, and then he was left. So they all fell in the water, and the dumpster's full of piranhas and so forth. So that was a newer way to win that. And going into Clash of Champions 14, we have a whole lot of people who have grudges that have been building. So we're going to have a Survivor Series match between a lot of the guys that are graduating soon to kind of settle those scores, if you will. Hillbilly Kevin, the champion, is doing a really good job. He came back to the game after playing a long time ago. So, a lot of players that came back. I do want to take a moment to talk about something that's serious as well, not just the trash talk, but so a lot of people ask questions. There was a player who played in the NWL 2012, way back when, right? Or 2013. And he played through, then retired as wrestler and left the game. Or so we thought. And then this player came back. Now, what had happened in that time is I was the first commissioner, and then I passed it to Bob Rogers, and then he passed it to Alex, and then he passed it to Jake, and it came back to me. Now, in those exchanges, this player came back into the NWL and with a new wrestler. Now, I make it very clear, we've all made it very clear over the years, this is a one-and-done time. You go through the league, you learn how to play, you move on. And we've had a couple times where people have come back and try to play again, and it's like, no, dude, you've been through. You've had your time. It's time for other guys. And I always say the thing that sucks about this, now this particular wrestler, RJ Berserker, came back in, or came in. I'll say the manager came back in. And what happened was he beat this one guy, Murder, by 1 point and beat him for his regional belt. Now, you might think that's not a big deal, but to an NWL player who every title means something more because they're new to the game and they're building momentum, they're learning how to play, So I went to IWA and reached out to them, and they're going to give Murder the league title shot and TV title shot like you should get. But I asked them to remove this wrestler from the league. And the reason I did that is because this same manager has been in the league, I think NWL at least 4 times for sure, possibly 5. And has retired 2 other wrestlers. Now, if you're getting 1,000 wins in NWL, you're beating a lot of guys who don't know how to play. So the advantage as a wrestler, people are saying, why would they do that? The advantage as the person trying to get 1,000 wins to retire that wrestler, it's quicker to do that in NWL than it is anywhere else in the game. Because if you're in the Schmo-Mo league, you can face 20 scrubs. But the people who flood and have possibly decent strategies, could be trouble for them, won't give them easy wins, right? So the short conclusion of this is that IWA has banned this player from the NWL. I've reached out to them and asked them, please, tell him, stop doing this. This isn't cool, because now he's cost somebody a regional belt. And again, like I said, it's not a big deal in this grand scope of things to lose a regional belt, but it is if you have no business being in the league. So I would just ask that people, respect the process and don't do shitty things like that. I mean, come on, man. It's a game.
Don't be a dick.
Right. So that's what happened there. So as we head into NWL Clash Champions 14, which is in about 2 more cycles, we'll have a lot involved. We're going to have a Wilbit Classic this coming cycle, where we'll determine who the third party of the title match for the Young Lions title. So it'll be a lot of fun to write that up. But I want to thank everyone who takes part in NWL. It's making a lot of fun. There's tons of material. There's tons of wrestlers and lots of action. I would say, though, some people have told me they want to transfer out because they felt uncomfortable. And if that's the case, reach out to me and I'll do what I can to make sure that doesn't happen, or you can stay in the league. Other people have said to me, well, I feel I get lost in the shuffle. And I get that a lot with the BRL, where you have such a big roster and so much going on. Just reach out to your commissioner. If you let them know, hey, I feel like I'm not really getting in the mix here, what can I do? Let them know. So there's that. So that's the NWL for you.
All right, man. I dig it, man. So, Matt, you got anything for us IWAR wide? Hey, Luke, what are your thoughts on this cycles TT in the NWL?
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts, Alex. Thanks for letting me know. First of all, Subaru Umbero, Tyler Dresden, fucking on point. All right, they look good. I like to see the players lounge. Looks good. Hey, heads up. Don't be a perv or a weirdo in your TT. Second of all, don't include politics in your TT, because guess what? The NWL is not real, nor is the IWA, nor is wrestling in general. So how about you don't do that?
You know how I kind of justify the IWA universe? The IWA universe is an alternate reality where Dusty Rhodes became president of the United States.
I can agree with that, baby.
That's the universe. That's the if you guys ever watch wrestling, you ever watched the New Breed. The New Breed was this gimmick that was in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And these are 2 wrestlers who came back from the future, and they came from a future where Dusty Rhodes was president of the United States. That's where we're at. We're in that reality.
But I'll tell you that I'll give you one better. When you write your promo, right? Whatever you write your promo to be, always think of it as, how is someone able to respond to this? If I see a promo like Greg Gannard, kill somebody with a chain, that guy can say, hey man, you killed me with a chain, and come back at you, right? Or if Fiction, has to call somebody out and does whatever, right? You can build off of it. Can someone respond to your promo? You can do things, you can mention things that are edgy or political, but if you do it in a way that's it's more about the wrestling, it's not like you're doing it as a rally, you're doing something about it. That's fine. You can talk about anything really, but if you do it in a way that's built around the wrestling, because as a player, if I read something about Senior Lucha being a heel and not paying his child support, I can play off that. But if someone was like, Senior Lucha is for post-birth abortions, I could say, of course he'll use a $1 million peso knee lift on the kid. He don't care. But my point being, how am I going to respond to that? It's sometimes you've watched wrestling in the past, and So, remember those things they would do? They don't do this, I think, anywhere else but WWE. Alex would probably know. But they would do these like, we're going to have a debate. Ken Patera is going to debate Bobby Heenan. And they never end well. They're always like, someone getting smashed into the podium. But like, you have one guy who can clearly cut promos, and the other guy who's like, I'm an eggplant. Like, okay. Like, so give people things to work with. That's the number one thing. If you want to be in the game and really make it fun, engage. And the way you engage is you feed off what people do, or you give them, like, if this is softball, you're giving them a meatball down the middle of the plate. I'm a good guy. I call out all the bad guys and go, you guys ain't so tough. What are you going to do about it? I'm right here. You're going to get attacked by somebody. Someone's going to, like, just jump out and beat you with a chair because they're going to be like, this guy, F him. So think about that all the time if you can. Keep in mind what it is that you're playing for, to have fun. So have fun, and if it's not fun, well, we do what we could do.
I dig it. All right, Matt, what's going on IWAR wide?
Oh, man, IWAR wide. Just sum this up real quick. We have the Johnny B Cup is down to 10 wrestlers, and then it went down to 5. So let me get this pulled up here real quick. So your 5 finalists come down to Slashmaster from the NWL. This dude's a rookie, and he's lasted to the last 5. Impressive. Algebra Jones, the wrestler with no name, Mike Mason, and Timothy Zastampowski. So what's going to happen is those 5 are in a match, and the top 2 scores will advance to the finals, all right? So who out of those 5, Slashmaster, Algebra Jones, wrestler with no name, Mike freaking Mason, or Tim Zastampowski, 2 of those 5 will advance to the finals, and then they'll go head-to-head. So that's the Johnny B Cup. So the Murano finals will come down to the Disembowelers facing Blood Money. So the BBL's Disembowelers will take on Hot Stuff Adam Cash and Fatty the Butcher. This would be the first win for the Disembowelers, and it would be the second win for Blood Money. So that final happens this coming cycle, so no pressure, guys. We are going to introduce this cycle coming up, the IWAR 2020 free agent auction, and you're going to have 8 to 10 wrestlers that are new creations. They all have a record of 50-0, so 50 wins, 0 losses, and you're going to get a chance to bid on them, and it's going to be only players with 1 to 2 years experience. If you have 3 years and you're not that good, you can contact me. I just please feel free to reach out. But this is for the veterans. This is more for the newer players who would just like to, someone fun to take on. And each of these wrestlers has a little mini bio and some description of them. So it'll be a fun little thing to try. If it works out well, we'll do it again here and there. But it's a way to kind of get some new faces in the leagues and have fun with it. So that's coming out. The IWAR draft is later this summer, in the fall, but we'll be doing our preview issue. The War Games, as you mentioned earlier, is still coming up. And as to clarification, if you're in the War Games, that's cool and all, but it is $5 per team, not per entry. So what I mean by that is, like the Gentlemen's Club, right? IWL, William Worthy, Jordan Drake, Apollos Payne, and the American Savages, 5 wrestlers. I paid for that whole team myself, $5. Some players have tried to enter and be like, I want it in the thing, here's $5. And it's like, no, you don't need $5 to enter, just you're one guy. So if you did that, let the IWA know you have $4 in IWA credit. All right, so how many teams do you think you have in so far? I have about 6 or 7 right now. Do you know, Alex, off the top of your head?
I think it's about 5 or 6.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, I'm gonna make a thread over in the Facebook group to make sure I got them all, because the IWA is notorious of leaving teams out. So if you haven't gotten your money in, you're interested in doing the event, again, 100% of the proceeds does go back into the pot. So again, if there's 5 teams, $5 a pot, $25 goes to the team that wins.
There it is. Other stuff going on IWA wise. We're moving the IWAR Gold Strategy Workshop off of Facebook. Believe it or not all the players in the IWA, A, are online, and 2, have Facebook. So what I'm doing is putting it on Zoom. We tried the Facebook Messenger group video thing, but it maxes out at 8 people at a time. So people are like, I can't get in. So this version will give us up to 100 people at once. So I don't think we'll get anywhere near that. No worries there. But we can get like 18, 20 easy. if you want in on this, let me know. If I don't do it this time, I can get you in next time, and it'll be fun. So we're going to take a look and try to break down the holes as best we can and talk you through so you pick up the basics and have fun with it. Other stuff going on. We have some IWAR title matches in the process. The Velociraptor defeated Kennedy Cage to become the new Revolution champion, and now the Velociraptor out of the IWL will defend against the Almighty Sheik from the BBL. So that's going on. We have some more stuff in store. So
Hey.
What?
Boring is in the IWL, right? The
Yes.
Velociraptor is in the IWL. So what you're saying is that the IWL dominates the IWAR. Is that what you're saying? Because I feel like that's what
you can make that argument. Yes.
I mean, I don't think it's an argument. I think it's a fact.
All right.
Just wanted to point that out.
All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Luke Martins, for Matt Riley, I'm Alex G. Have a good night.